Welcome to the Ask Junior Daily Judgment Podcast. I'm Priya Sharma, and joining me today is Arjun Gupta.
Hello, everyone. We're excited to dive into today's important judgments. But before we begin, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share our podcast if you enjoy our daily legal breakdowns.
That's right. Your support helps us reach more listeners and continue providing in-depth analysis of the latest court decisions. Now, let's get started with today's case. The State Central Bureau of Investigation versus A. Satish Kumar Ors, decided by the Supreme Court of India on January 2nd, 2025.
This case involved a fascinating jurisdictional battle between the Central Bureau of Investigation, CBI, and the state of Andhra Pradesh, specifically concerning the CBI's power to investigate alleged corruption cases involving central government employees.
Let's break down the key facts. The case revolved around two FIRs filed by the CBI against public servants in Andhra Pradesh, both related to alleged bribery. The first FIR was against A. Satish Kumar, a central excise superintendent accused of accepting illegal gratification from a contractor. The second FIR was against an accounts assistant accused demanding bribes for processing contract bills.
Following the bifurcation of Andhra Pradesh into two states in 2014, the CBI's jurisdiction to investigate these cases was challenged. The respondents argued that, after the state's division, the CBI needed fresh consent from the new Andhra Pradesh government to investigate offenses within its territory.
This brings us to the legal questions at the heart of the case. The Supreme Court had to decide, first, whether the CBI required state consent to investigate central government employees for offenses under central acts like the Prevention of Corruption Act after Andhra Pradesh was bifurcated. Second, whether the CBI court in Hyderabad, Telangana, had territorial jurisdiction to try offenses committed in Andhra Pradesh districts after the division. Third, whether pre-bifurcation laws, notifications, and orders continued to apply in both new states until explicitly amended or repealed.
These questions bring us to the core of the Supreme Court's judgment. The court's ratio decidendi, or the principle of law it relied on, can be summarized as follows. The CBI doesn't need state consent to investigate central government employees for offenses under central acts. Pre-bifurcation laws, notifications, and orders continue to apply in both new states until explicitly amended or repealed. The CBI court in Hyderabad, Telangana, retained territorial jurisdiction over offenses committed in Andhra Pradesh districts before the division.
The court's reasoning was based on a careful analysis of the relevant laws and precedents. Let's delve into each point.
Firstly, on the issue of CBI's power to investigate central government employees without state consent, the court relied on previous cases like Kanwal Tanuj v. State of Bihar and the Fertico marketing case. The court highlighted that the consent requirements under Section 6 of the Delhi Special Police Establishment Act, DSPE Act, cannot restrict the CBI's jurisdiction to investigate specified offenses under Section 3 when dealing with central government employees.
Think of it this way, Arjun. Imagine a detective agency specializing in uncovering fraud within a large corporation. That agency's jurisdiction wouldn't be limited by the specific state where the corporation operates, as long as its investigation involves offenses under federal law. Similarly, the CBI, being responsible for investigating offenses against central government employees, doesn't need state consent to operate within a state's territory.
The court also emphasized the specific provision within the resolution number 43161T of the Ministry of Home Affairs establishing the CBI, which explicitly granted the CBI authority to investigate cases involving public servants under central government control.
This brings us to the second point, the continuity of pre-bifurcation laws and notifications. The court found that the term law as defined in the Circular Memo number 13665 SR 2014 issued under Section 3 of the Andhra Pradesh Reorganization Act was very broad. It included any enactment, ordinance, regulation, order, bylaw, rule, scheme, notification, or other instrument having the force of law before the bifurcation.
This means that laws applicable to undivided Andhra Pradesh as of 1 June 2014, like the one granting the CBI court in Hyderabad jurisdiction over Rayalaseema districts, would continue to apply in both new states until explicitly altered, repealed, or amended.
Imagine, Arjun, You have a set of rules for a game that applies to a large group of people. Then the group splits into two smaller groups. The original rules continue to apply to both smaller groups unless they explicitly change them. This is similar to the situation here. The pre-bifurcation laws continued to apply until both new states explicitly modified them.
Lastly, the court addressed the issue of territorial jurisdiction of CBI courts. The court examined Goams No. 88, dated 7 August 2012, which authorized the CBI court in Hyderabad to exercise jurisdiction over Rayalaseema districts of Andhra Pradesh. The court reasoned that this jurisdictional notification continued in force in both states because of the circular memo's definition of law.
The court argued that failing to recognize this continuity would create a legal vacuum where offenders could act with impunity, defeating the purpose of the Prevention of Corruption Act.
This judgment has significant implications. Firstly, it solidifies the CBI's power to investigate central government employees for offenses under central laws, even in states that haven't explicitly granted consent. This ensures a unified enforcement of national laws without undue restrictions from state governments.
Secondly, it emphasizes the principle of continuity of laws during state reorganizations. This ensures that legal frameworks remain stable and avoid disruptions during major political changes.
Thirdly, this judgment clarifies jurisdictional issues for CBI courts, ensuring that their authority to try cases is not undermined by state reorganizations.
The Supreme Court's judgment in this case serves as a vital precedent for upholding the rule of law and ensuring smooth functioning of the criminal justice system, particularly in cases involving offenses against central government employees.
There were no dissenting opinions in this case. The court delivered a unanimous verdict, which highlights the importance of its findings.
And that wraps up our analysis of today's judgment. We hope you found our discussion informative and engaging.
Before we sign off, we'd like to remind our listeners once again to like, subscribe, and share our podcast. Your support means the world to us and helps us continue bringing you daily updates on the most important legal decisions.
Absolutely. And don't forget to tune in tomorrow for another exciting episode. Until then, this is Priya Sharma.
And Arjun Gupta, signing off. Thanks for listening to the Ask Junior Daily Judgment podcast.